In our first video, we showed you how to store your favourite settings into the memory buttons we have between the keyboards here. Now we'd like to show you how to take that to the next step. And like when we first started to play the RS1000, we had our Legend with A, B, C and D with factory presets in those banks. We can now refill those banks with our own settings, still having the factory settings there, but we can also load in some of our own. And this is what we're going to do now to show you how to take your settings into the banks and then into the machine. So let's start by going back to our first little panpipe sound that sits on button 1. I now want to allocate that to a bank. It couldn't be easier. Just push the memory button, only this time we're going up to the bank A, press bank A, you'll notice the button will flash and it's in. The same if we go to the guitar sound on button 2, highlight button 2, push the memory, bank A, and it's in. You now can repeat that process up to the 16 stops that we have here. But that's just 16 in bank A. We can put 16 in bank B, 16 in C and in D. That's going to give you 64 of your own personal registrations that you can recall at any time. When you've done your hard work, it's most important that you save this work before you do anything else, and that's switching off, introducing a USB stick, or in fact loading anything that sits in the RS1000's memory at that time. It's very important. The machine is designed to go back to default, so when you turn off, you know where you are. The second point we've made it that way, if you get into a pickle and you need to start again, you know you can turn the instrument off and it will always come up with bank A presets in between the keyboard. So now we need to save our work into the machine's hard drive. It's as easy as pushing the record button here that sits on the left of the machine underneath the tempo button. Quite simply push record. We look into the window, it's already highlighted at the top, record reg file, record registration file, which is what we want to do. Next step. It will now come up with a generic file name that you can edit and change later on to put your own personal name to it. At the top on button E it says Save New. Now it comes up with a screen that has what is in the machine's memory at this moment in time. And you notice on the bottom there's our new bank, reg000.reg. As I say, we can name that later, but for now all we're going to do is load it into the machine's memory by simply pushing load. It will ask me, are you sure? Yes, I am, and I use the confirm button that sits below the 4 bank selectors. Confirm, job done. It's as simple as that.